My name is Gerrard de Wet, so I head up the planning function. The planning function within Hulamin is responsible for helping make and support decisions, that the business is able to understand at the different planning levels what decisions are required. So our function is to help understand the sales demand, the supply, how do we balance that, what does it mean financially, and what are the trade-offs, what are the impacts of the various decisions, and we present them and help the business leadership then make those decisions. We support the strategic planning function, but we also are responsible for sequencing and scheduling the machines on the shop floor as well. So we span the full spectrum of planning within the business. Yes, I represent Hulamin. It's an aluminium rolling business situated in South Africa. We have the largest aluminium rolling mill in Africa. That's in the Pietermaritzburg plant. We provide mostly rolled products, but we also have an extrusion business. We have a downstream container business where we make rigid foil containers. And we've also recently acquired a cast house that's located up in Richards Bay next to the smelter, where we are producing the value-added products like the rolling slab, the extruded billet, and rod and rim alloy. Hulamin produces 250,000 tons of aluminium product a year. We supply over 80 different countries worldwide. Production is consumed within the local region and the rest is export. I think Hulamin has realized it's in a competitive space. Located on the bottom of Africa and supplying 70% of its production worldwide does create some challenges. We also got financial fluctuations and headwinds that we're dealing with. So Hulamin has recognized that unless it transforms quickly with high inflation of costs, reduced rolling margins, we are seeing that our profit is being squeezed, and in order to survive, we need to transform. We've recognized that we need to rationalize the product mix that we are producing at the Pietermaritzburg plant, but at the same time we also need to expand into other African markets on key products. We've seen the importance of utilizing available scrap as cheap metal units, and we're also looking for a global footprint. So when it comes to the transformation, we understand that the business needs to, in the short term, continue to perform in order to generate cash. At the same time, we're investing and we're developing core capabilities that will enable us to pursue new business models and be able to survive into the future as we look to reposition the business and take advantage of further growth. So first of all, it's the location. So being quite far from other export markets and at the bottom of Africa, whilst it provides us with some protection where we're able to service our own local market, it does mean it's a challenge when we export and we are competing against other in-country competitors. So we're having to cover and pick up the full logistics cost of being able to ship and supply our product into those regions. I think what probably is the greatest challenge is the fluctuation in the exchange rates. So we're buying metal in US dollars. More than 80% of our product is sold in foreign currency. And depending on the volatility of the rand, which is one of the most traded currencies, so when the rand is weak, we earn more. As the rand strengthens, we earn less. But the volatility of this caused quite a challenge. In recent years, we've seen that the inflation of our internal costs is far exceeding the inflation in US dollars of our margins. So it means that our margin is getting squeezed, and we're challenged with that. I think the other challenge is the uncertain and unstable supply in the supply chain, particularly in terms of electricity supply and utilities. So as the population in South Africa grows, and over the years there hasn't been sufficient investment to maintain and meet the demand, we're finding that we are constantly having to experience cuts in electricity power, the unavailability, so at short notice we're having to curtail our energy consumption, switch certain equipment off, restart it. So that's all driving up the cost and it's making us unproductive. We also have a volatile labour force, heavily unionized, and we've been experiencing some disruptions in terms of strikes and labour disrest. Definitely, it's given us greater insight into the product range that we're making, to clearly understand which products we're getting a decent return on capital employed, to understand what our profitable products are, and then also to size our selling opportunities. So as we look to optimize our sales mix, fully load the plant and sweat all the assets, it's given us far greater insight as to what is the optimal mix. We've seen the last 3-4 years record output, where we've gone from 180,000 tonnes by the end of 2015 to last year where we were able to sell 230,000 tonnes. So that's been a tremendous increase in output. At the same time, we've been able to reduce working capital. So through optimization, we've been able to reduce our inventory levels. We've taken it from over 110 days of sales down to last year's 85. We've maintained for the last 2 years days sales as expressed the total inventory down to 85 days of sales. So that's where we've seen the value. But probably the greatest value is helping us as we look to the future, as we do the different scenario planning, having a solid base of understanding of how to load the plant, what the productivities are, what the earnings are from the different products. We are able to crystallize a clear strategy, and that's assisting us in formulating how we need to transform and evolve into the future.